bad boy then. I picked it up from auction not that long ago. And I've been wanting a Gorenje for ages. This is a, well, I won't say Gorenje, obviously I mean like this age. It's a 90s Gorenje. 90s made. 90s built. 90s sold. And straight from the off, I'm going to tell you that unlike everything else from the 90s, this is cold fill only, which is a bit unusual. Anyway, so Gorenje WA1287. And presumably it would actually come with about an A wash rating and A energy, since how the water level is actually very low on it. There is a filter on it at the bottom that just simply lifts off and you pull it away. Our door is fitted back to front as we normally would have the door handle on this side in this country, but over there it's on that side. Inside we've got a 5 kilogram loading capacity with a quite large drum. It's kind of reminiscent a little bit to an AEG drum, but it's got its Gorenje drum paddles inside as well. So we've got our little Gorenje ratings plate there. It looks like it has power max 2,200 watts. So, oh yeah, there. Heater, 2,000 watt heater rating. Very powerful. It's also got a very unusual sort of staggered kind of weird drum hole pad like pattern. And we've got our drum paddles, which have always been actually been carried on for years. We've got our door seal, a little bit mould in there because it can't drain. Bit of a design for, I suppose, but actually the door seal's in good condition. Our detergent drawer lists 18 programs, but it actually only has 17. So program A, we've got whites, colours with a pre-wash up to 95 degrees. Program B, whites, colours up to between 70 and 95. B, colours intensive, cold to 60. So obviously program B is a long 60 degree program, or obviously a 95 degree program, depending where you set the temperature gauge. C, we've got colours normal. This would probably be colour fast cottons at 60. D, coloured or non-colour fast colours from cold to 95. Yeah, I actually think this is a typo. I think it's supposed to be cold to 40. Then we've got E, rinse, which is actually rinsers. All the cottons rinsers with intermediate spins. F is conditioning or fabric softener. So that'll be one rinse followed by obviously the final spin of program. G, interval spinning. So what it does like spin bursts. Goes up to speed, comes down, anti-crease, goes up to a faster speed, comes down, anti-crease, comes up to another faster speed, comes down, anti-crease. Program H, synthetics with a pre-wash, cold or up to 60 degrees. The pre-wash will be carried out at around 30 degrees. Program J, synthetics normal, so obviously without a pre-wash. And then program K is delicates, cold to 40 degrees. Program L is rinses, not just rinses of synthetics and delicates, followed by the fabric softening on program M, and then the final spin, program N, interval spinning short. So I think it'll be a slower spin speed and obviously less interval, so therefore a shorter length. Then program P is woolens, cold to 40. R is woolens rinsers and spin. Program S is woolens conditioning and spin, and the program T is emptying or draining. Right, so we've got 4 buttons in the middle here. We've got an on-off with the pilot light. Pump stop, which is rinse hold, so at the end of the conditioning rinses, it will stop on a sector, and then you can carry on by releasing the button to make it go on to its final spin. Higher water level, I think just adds water to the rinses, because I've put it on the wash and it doesn't really seem to do anything. Short program will shorten the wash time on most of the programs. So just an edit on this. High water level is only effective on programs A and B only. In the short program, there's actually no information anywhere. If I get the Gorenje WA1287 manual, it has half load instead. So if the half load and the short program are the same, effectively short programs are half load. Therefore, this option also only works on programs A and B. The way half load seems to work is that it will shorten the wash program. However, it does also say if you use short program with, or half load with any of the other programs, it will actually do a temperature hotter than what is stated on the drawer. So therefore, if let's say we'll do program C colours normal with half load, it would actually be more than 60 degrees. However, this is based on a machine that doesn't have a variable temperature stat. I think this would actually probably stick to it. So we've got our program dial here. So we've got variable spin, we've got 1200, 1000, 800, 700, 600, 500, 400 and obviously no spin. And we've got variable temperature of 95, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30 and then cold or heater off. And then we've got our programmer over here, program A, obviously pre-wash. And then program B, why it's 95 / coloured 60 intensive, depending on how you want to set the temperature dial. C, coloured normal, colours normal up to 60. D, coloured 40 degrees or 95, who knows, it's a typo. Then rinses, and then fabric softener, final spin at 1200 RPM, H synthetics pre-wash, J is synthetic main wash, K delicates, L rinses, M fabric softener. When it gets to there, that is pump stop. It's a little marked out there. So you then have to just release pump stop at that point and it will move on to program N and do a short spin. Program P obviously wool rinses, wool final spin. Right, and then you got obviously there pump stop, I believe, and then T is draining, but it is spin when I did wool. Obviously a slower spin than normal, but did spin. Right, one noticeable thing with this dial is that when you turn it to a program, it just simply clicks in place dead easily. You're not going to overshoot because it goes stiff. So if I want to get it onto stop, I can't because stop is not a program. But I can select, say, P very easily, or R easily, or S easily. This basically has the same kind of timer used on hotpoint WMs of the same era. How cool is that? Although the actual timer itself is completely different. Right, so our detergent drawer is split into 3 compartments. This far side is for any programs with the pre-wash. The middle is for all your normal main wash detergent. And this one here is for your fabric softener. There is a tiny little marker on here labelled maximum on this siphon. How did I miss that? That was a fail. But of course, 35ml, I reckon this take a 110, 120 possibly. Huh? Don't put on Gorenje. Right, let's take a look then. Very well spun. No, I'll take that back actually, that's not very well spun. Ow. This feels really, really wet. Like, if you spun this at like a normal 800 spin, say in a Bosch, this would come out better in a Bosch. This feels like it went up to its maximum speed, which is 1200 RPM. Only briefly, but it still did it. So then on that note then, let's give this out of 10. Well, it gets from me, I love the machine, but it gets an 8 out of 10. A couple of reasons. Apart from the little typo, that's not really a biggie. That final spin was a bit of a letdown. And the high water level is also quite a letdown. It's not really, it doesn't really come to the door at all. But other than that, it's very well built. It's got the timer that I love that timer. The washing action is very interesting. It's a very interesting machine to watch. It does clean rather well. And here's one good thing about a Gorenje, and it's always been the same. So over here, because they've not been very popular, they've always been sold rather cheap. They've always been sold by independent retailers rather than bigger, more well-established retailers. So with independent retailers selling them, this means that this whole machine came out cheaper than the equivalent Hotpoint. And yet, despite having its Hotpoint motor and timer and stuff like that, it is actually far more superior than the Hotpoint. And better built too, I think, by a long way. So there you go. Yeah, Gorenje will be staying around now for a very long time, and I've not done it yet. There will be a wash race, generation race. So that's something to look forward to. I won't be pitting the 2K with it, but I will be pitting the 1400 spin black one with it instead, and the sensor cat. So that will be something to look forward to if you're watching this right now and you're hearing it. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon in another video.